Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make pho. I just got back from the Asia supermarket and got a few stuff. Just got some bones, some beef back ribs, some sliced beef, pho noodles, and some vegetables, meatballs. And I wasn't going to do this video, but I'm just going to try it out, see where it goes. Alright, so right now I got a pot of water going. I didn't put that much water because I'm gonna dump in the bones and the ribs, and then I'm gonna rinse it out later just to get rid of all the imperfections, so I can have a clearer broth. So yeah, we're gonna start off by dumping in our stuff. Alright, let's go in with our beef bones. Alright, in goes our beef back ribs. Oh yeah, and I had some briskets that I took out. I thawed out the other day. Bought this from Costco a while ago, and then I cut them up into pieces and froze them. So we're gonna throw this in there too. Some briskets. These are prime cut briskets. We're gonna let that boil for maybe about 30 to 40 minutes, and then we're gonna rinse them off. Rinse them off, and then we'll fill the water up to the top. Alright, so while we wait for our water to simmer, or water with all that meat and those bones, we're gonna start toasting our spices. Our cinnamon, cloves, star anise. We're gonna cook this off until it gets really toasty. Alright, you can kind of see that it's starting to smoke up. That's when you know that's when all the aromatics is coming out, and you know that it's getting there. Let me turn on the fan real quick. It's about to get a little noisy. Give it about another 30 seconds and it should be ready. Maybe less. You can kind of see that it's nice and toasty. It's kind of where you want it, just like that. You don't want to burn it. You just want to toast it a little bit. We're going to set this off to the side. Let it cool off a little bit, and then we'll bag it up into this little cheesecloth looking thing. It's like a sack. Sack it up and then throw it into the broth. Alright guys, so now our pot's been boiling for about 30 minutes now. And look at all the gunk. This is what I was talking about earlier, all this stuff right here. This is what I'm trying to get rid of. I mean, it's going to have more later on after I rinse it. It's going to build up more, but it's going to be less. The more we could get rid of, the better. So we're going to let this boil for another maybe 5 minutes, and then we're going to rinse it off. Alright, so now we rinse our bones. We're just going to get the pot. You could just dump the water. I boiled this for about 30-ish, 35, maybe 40 minutes. Didn't really time it, but around there, under an hour. All we're gonna do is just give it a rinse. wash it up a little bit. See all that? There's a bunch of gunk coming out of it. See all that gunk right there? That's what we're trying to get rid of. I like my broth clear, so I like to try to get rid of as much as possible. Can't get rid of all of it, but it's better to, if you can get rid of as much as possible. Alright, we rinsed the bones, the meats. We filled the water up to the top. Now we're going to add our spices that we toasted earlier. We got our onions, 2 onions, and then our charred ginger. And then we're going to let that come to a boil. And now we're going to start seasoning it up. And we're going to let it boil for a while after we season it. And then we add our fish sauce towards the end. I really don't have an exact measurement. I like to season as I go, but just to get an idea, this is let's see, this pot is, how many quarts? Let me see. I'm trying to read how many quarts this pot is. This is a 18 quart pot. I'm just gonna throw maybe, let's see, about, season as I go, and I'll taste as I go too. Let's say 4 tablespoons of salt. I use this brand of rock sugar right here. Just candied rock candy. Throw a big chunk in there. Another chunk, another small chunk. I don't know. Just as I go. Maybe like, that's probably like 3-4 tablespoons as well. And some MSG in there. Some people like to use the this right here, the chicken flavoring, but I like using MSG because it doesn't make the broth cloudy, so I prefer MSG over that. Using that, the flavor is pretty good too. Oh yeah, almost forgot, some dried galanga. Some dried galanga. Just throw that in there. I'll probably have to season this some more, but we're going to start there. You don't want to over season it. You just want to lightly season and then taste as you go. Because if you season too much, then you're going to, it's going to be, if it's too salty, then it's hard to go back and fix it. At least if you kind of lightly season it, you can add a little more here and there. But if you over season it, then you might have to add more water. But as you can see, my water's filled up almost all the way to the top, so it's going to be hard to fix. So now we're going to start cutting our garnishes for our pho. We're going to start with the cilantro. Just give it a rough chop. Alright, now our green onions. I don't really like cutting green onions because it makes me want to cry. Just like that. Let's do our jalapenos. I like to use my mandolin to do my onions and jalapenos. Well, let's start with the onions first. Do thinly sliced onions. This is a must-have with pho. Every time I eat pho, I gotta have thinly sliced onions. If I don't, I'd rather not eat pho if I don't have thinly sliced onions. So with these mandolins, you gotta be very careful because it's really sharp. Use with caution. So we're gonna go, I'm gonna go pretty thin on these ones. Right. Let's see. They're pretty thin. Let's see. All right. Just like that. See that? All right. Onions are good. Throw them on the plate. Now for the jalapenos, you could do it a little thicker, so we're gonna go all the way back. You gotta have jalapenos with your pho too. And jalapenos, I like them thin, but not too thin. All right, jalapenos. And then, last but not least, some lemon. This is the lemon from my backyard. It's got a lot of juice, but it's got seeds. Throw it in there. Oh, and yeah, I forgot. I have some bean sprouts as well. I'll add that to the bowl later. And then basil, Thai basil. These are your main garnishes for pho. So yeah, when you eat pho, this would be your garnish. And I like to throw basil and bean sprouts over it. And I also like to eat Thai basil on the side too. I love Thai basil. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the garnish, guys. So the pot's been boiling for a few hours now. You can see that the fat submerged to the top. Now we're going to take the brisket out and let it cool off. Set it to the side. Then we're going to add, I tasted it earlier. It looks like it's going to need a little bit more seasoning. So we're going to add our final touches to it. We're going to let our brisket cool off and add more water to it. But before we do that, we're going to add our meatballs into the pot. I'm just going to probably put a little bit more salt and then add our fish sauce, and it should be good. Let's throw in our meatballs. Crank that heat up a little bit. A bit more salt. Hit it with the fish sauce. I think that should be good. Now we fill it up with water. Like I said before, the longer you cook it, the better it tastes. That's when all the bones and everything cooks off. If you leave it in the fridge overnight, all the fat will come up to the top. It'll have a fat cap, and you could just take that fat cap off the next day. Show you guys what the brisket looks like. It was pretty big earlier, but it shrunk after it's being cooked for a few hours. It shrinks. So we're gonna let this cool off, and then we're gonna slice it up. Alright guys, so I took off the meatballs, I took out the brisket to let it cool off, and now the final step is to just skim out the fat and then assemble our pho. Wish you guys could smell it right now. It smells like a pho shop in here. We're gonna cut our meatballs, slice our brisket, and then we should eat pretty soon. Now we're gonna start assembling our bowls. So we're gonna start off with some blanched noodles. We'll just dump it right here in the pot, in the bowl. Got our noodles, some thin sliced onions. I like a lot on mine. Some cilantro, some green onions, some jalapenos, bean sprouts, some thin sliced steak. Should be good. One more. Some brisket. I had a piece earlier. This brisket is super tender. Try not to get too much fat on there. There's some fat pieces, but I like mine. These are some pretty lean pieces. Get this one. Alright. Hit it with some lemon. Some basil. Throw some basil on there. And I'll also have some on the side too. I like to eat my basil with my pho. Let's see. Some hoisin on the side. Sriracha. Some chili oil. Mix this bad boy up. And we're good to go. Now I just gotta put the broth over my pho, and that's all she wrote. Try to throw some over the steak just to cook it a little bit. I don't want it too cooked, but I don't want it raw either. And that's pretty much it, folks. This here is how you make pho. Stir it up. And we're good to go. Alright guys. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I'll see you guys on the next video.